What is up, my friends? Valor here with another World of Warcraft guide. Today I'm going to be talking about Demonology Warlock. The highest skill floor of any spec in Miss Pandaria. It takes quite a bit of effort to learn this spec. I'll cover your stats, your talents, and then your gameplay. So for stats, hit chance until you have 50-100, which gives you 15% increased chance to hit. As much haste as possible, then as much mastery as possible, then as much crit as possible. You don't want crit, really. Talents, Soul Leech or Dark Regeneration. I recommend Soul Leech. Mortal Coil, use it during fights. Don't forget you have it. It heals you. Soul Link is my recommendation. It's a 20% damage reduction at all times. Sacrificial Pact can be used if you want to. It exists. Dark Bargain, don't use this in raids. Your healers do not know what it does and it will get you killed. Burning Rush is the default in 60. Unbound Will has very situational use in PvE. It costs 20% of your max health and removes all harmful magic effects. Supremacy and Service. Supremacy gives Sustained, Service gives Burst. The difference isn't big enough that I'd say you have to take Service, but Service is better. Archimonde's Darkness is the only option for 90. There is an important glyph to consider, Glyph of Imp Swarm. It turns your imps into a cooldown, and it allows you to stack them with your burst cooldowns. You are a very bursty spec. I do recommend using this glyph. It gets more powerful with more haste, though. As for your actual gameplay, you have an extremely strict opener. Do not mess it up. It will massively hurt your DPS. Your opener is Precast Soulfire, Hand of Gul'dan, Corruption, Shadow Bolt, Hand of Gul'dan. There is a less than half a second window for that second Hand of Gul'dan. Do not mess it up. After that, you go into Demon form, pop everything, apply Doom, Touch of Chaos to refresh Corruption, dump all of your Soulfire charges, cast Touch of Chaos until your Hand of Gul'dan is almost finished, recharging twice, Hand of Gul'dan, Shadow Bolt, Hand of Gul'dan, and then you go into your Maintenance Rotation. Maintenance Rotation is cast Shadow Bolt, keep Corruption rolling, and only cast Hand of Gul'dan when you have one charge and you're going to have a second charge within 3 seconds. The reason for this is you always want a second stack of Shadow Flame to hit your target. So see, I cast Hand of Gul'dan, Shadow Bolt, Hand of Gul'dan. Once you have 800 or more Fury, pop everything, go into Demon form, cast as many Soulfires as possible, and remember to always save any cooldowns or damage increasing effects for this phase. Note that your Demon will also do more damage in this phase. You want to stay in this phase until you have under 100 Fury, then drop it. See, I'm going to Hand of Gul'dan, Shadow Bolt, Corruption, Hand of Gul'dan. Not sure why messed that up. But other than this, you just have the Execute phase, which is 25% health. You just swap Shadow Bolt for Soulfire in this phase. Always casting Soulfire because you have unlimited procs. Now, when I say pop everything, I am referring to Dark Soul, Summon Terror Guard if you have it, your Demon's Wrathstorm, any trinkets or battle potions, your Imp Swarm ability, and Grimoire of Service if you have it. Now, some things to note about this spec that you need to understand is the Pandemic passive effect and the snapshotting effect. Pandemic is a passive effect unique to Warlocks. See if I can find it. Anyway, what it does is when you refresh a dot that's already on the target, it adds at least 50, it adds no more than 50% of duration to the next application. It just makes it longer. This is something that's normal for everyone on retail, but it's unique to Warlocks on Miss Pandaria. Snapshotting, though, snapshotting is super important for Corruption and Doom. What it does is when you cast a damage over time effect, your character's stats at the moment you cast it, or what is used for the entire duration. This is particularly important for Doom, which has a really long, high damage duration. See, I can have 2 minutes of Doom. So if I had all of my damage increasing effects up, that's 2 entire minutes almost of Doom with all of my burst windows up. Very important to keep as big of a Doom as possible on your target. Do not overwrite a massively strong Doom with a weaker Doom. And the only other thing worth talking about, I briefly mentioned this in the rotation, Hand of Gul'dan refreshing duration. If Hand of Gul'dan hits a target already affected by the Shadow Flame dot, it will not only refresh the duration, it will add a second stack, making it deal more damage. Because all of your Soulfire charges come from Hand of Gul'dan, you need as much duration on this as possible. And having a second stack makes it do a lot of damage as well. 6% of my damage was Shadow Flame, and I wasn't even paying much attention to it. And that's it. Enjoy your spec.